Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. America and India are going to partner, and India has made it very clear to America that, listen, buying off the shelf is not okay with us. You want to sell stuff to India, there are a few things that you need to do, and army generals, even 4-star generals, don't have that kind of money. Pakistan is a rich nation. It can afford billionaire generals. Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. So ladies and gentlemen, what has happened is that we discussed that the Prime Minister is he's going to be addressing the joint session of the US Congress. The Democrats are going to be there, the Republicans are going to be there, and then after that he'll also meet the President of the United States, President Joe Biden. Now, before that, a lot of things are being set up. Dr. Jaishankar is speaking to the Americans, and our NSA, Mr. Ajit Doval, is also speaking to the Americans. And here, he had a meeting with the Secretary of Defense, which is the Defense Minister of America, Lloyd Austin. And this is, these points I've made so that we understand what is happening and what is in store for the Prime Minister of India when he goes to Washington, D.C. Now, number one is that, this is the meeting between Lloyd Austin and Mr. Ajit Doval. And it says cooperation in specific niche technologies in maritime, military and aerospace domains to boost capabilities. So if the NSA is meeting and if the Defense Secretary of America, who's actually the Defense Minister of America, if he's meeting, obviously it has to do with intelligence and security. So that's one thing. In maritime, air, space, land, water, all these domains. So they're calling for a tie-up and they're saying that cooperation will be there to boost capabilities. Now, this is pretty open-ended. They have not discussed what exactly they will do, right? And many of these things, because they're related to defense, a lot of these things will be confidential and secret. So I don't think they're going to be out in the media, but overall, one header is that here is what they're going to do. Second thing is greater transfer of technology. Greater transfer of technology, co-production and building indigenous capacities in line with India's Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives, which essentially means that America is the top weapons manufacturer and exporter in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, what is going to happen is that America and India are going to partner, and India has made it very clear to America that, listen, buying off the shelf is not okay with us. You want to sell stuff to India, there are a few things that you need to do, and chief amongst them is Make in India. So you make in India, and from here, India and America will make together and then export to the rest of the world. This makes sense for India. This is exactly what happened, though not in the defense sense, but this is exactly what happened with Tesla and the government of India. Tesla has been wanting to enter the Indian market for a long, long time. But Tesla was stuck. Elon Musk was saying no. And a lot of Indians, especially some opposition politicians were also saying that, how can you say no to Elon Musk? How can you say no to him? How can you even imagine that if Elon Musk wants to come to India, he's doing India a huge, huge favor. Just by the fact that he's Elon Musk and he wants to sell his cars in India. Oh my God. The Modi government told him to buzz off. For 2 years, Elon Musk kept on hovering around, now licking his wounds. He's come back and Elon Musk says that, okay, I will make in India under Atmanirbhar Bharat. You're welcome, Mr. Musk. There's no problem. You're welcome as a friend. But don't think that you can make stuff in China and sell in India. That we will not allow. Right? Similarly, in defense technologies, this is exactly what India has told the United States of America. I was just giving an example of Tesla cars. Not that they're discussing Tesla cars in this meeting. Not that they discussed Tesla cars in this meeting. But this is something that was discussed before. Between Mr. Ajit Doval and Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense for the United States of America. Now, another thing that they discussed was, very interestingly, the third thing that they said was that ensure that countries in different regions, Middle East, South Asia and Southeast Asia, have their freedom of action in line with their national priorities and are not coerced into poor choices. Essentially, we will not allow these countries to be pressured by China. This is what they're saying. This is the top line or the bottom line for whatever it's worth. We will not allow these countries to be pressured by China. Let's talk to these countries. What do they want? We can give it to you at better terms. Get China out. This is my understanding of this this statement. They haven't mentioned China here. This is my analysis of this statement. Number 4, focus on trusted sources of supply, resilient supply chains, and greater industry-to-industry partnership. Now, extremely important. What is supply chain resilience? The world over a period of the past 30, 40 years has become increasingly dependent upon China. And this entire aggressive attitude, this arrogant attitude of China is essentially based on American technology and American money. Because China literally hasn't invented anything for over 1,000 years. The entire Chinese ecosystem. I have asked this question many a time, and a lot of you, have answered, and some of you haven't. So, China steals intellectual property from the United States of America, from Europe. China's basic business model is theft. Let's understand this. And also contract manufacturing. So now this contract manufacturing bit is moving away from China into India. And this is something that China does not like. Because when you are decoupling with the Chinese economy, when you're saying let's decouple with the Chinese economy, when the Americans say this, when the Europeans say this, you are hitting the Chinese where it hurts the most. It is not stalling of their aircraft carrier project that hurts the Chinese. It's not stalling of their weapons programs that hurts the Chinese. What hurts the Chinese very deeply, it bites into the bone, It really hurts them, makes them scream in agony, is when you impact them financially. And this is exactly what the West is doing. This is exactly what America is doing. So now you have the latest Apple iPhones being manufactured in India. You have Tesla, which is moving a part of its production to India. And you have so many companies that are setting up semiconductor bases, etc., all moving out of China into India. And this is hurting. This is exactly what Mr. Doval spoke to Lloyd Austin about. Apart from that, they also said that take a strategic approach to global challenges through a whole of government effort, including through people-to-people and societal relations. So more interaction between Americans and Indians, maybe students, maybe business houses, maybe industry collaboration. I don't know what are the details, but this is what they have decided now. This is usually done when there are very, very important state visits happening. So when the Prime Minister goes, the ground is set for him. The Prime Minister will land there, I think, on the 21st of June, if I'm not mistaken, or the 22nd is the speech. So I think he'll come a day before. He'll reach there a day before, and everything is set. So all he has to do is, in the presence of everybody, sign. The details and everything have been thrashed out. People are talking about GE engines for Tejas aircraft, manufacturing of GE engines in India. I think that's a big deal. You manufacture GE engines. We should also have, the government of India, maybe it can work something out with the Americans. Maybe you can have a joint production of F-35 in India, or any such fighter aircraft which the Air Force finds fit. We have to anyway take aircraft, and the Tejas production takes time. Like any other aircraft, it takes time, and we are desperately short of aircraft. So maybe any single-engined aircraft that they want, or a twin-engine aircraft, whatever the Air Force desires, set up a separate factory. Tata has a tie-up with Lockheed Martin. It will be a great idea. If you're one of their advanced Lockheed Martin fighter aircraft, which the Americans are using, the Air Force and the Navy is using, if they can partner with Tata, they already are in a partnership with Tata. They get the contract, they start manufacturing in India, and everything, complete transfer of technology. And from here, India sells abroad. So makes a lot of sense for us also, and for the Americans also. And this is one. And the second news is about, of course, Rahul Gandhi. He's abroad, and one thing that Rahul Gandhi, in a meeting with a journalist, or with a person from the media, actually, some defense magazine, they asked him a question about Vivek Raghavan. Now, who's Vivek Raghavan? He's a former Navy commander, Indian Navy commander, who has been part of a magazine, a defense-related magazine based out of the US. And Vivek Raghavan has been arrested for espionage, for spying, right? And he was stealing, apparently, secrets from DRDO and other places, and selling them to the enemy, or passing information. So Vivek Raghavan was arrested, and this person was a colleague of Vivek Raghavan. He asked Rahul Gandhi, and he said that Vivek and I we've worked together for the past 30 years and Vivek's arrest is arbitrary. And what do you think this says about the state of media in India, the freedom of media in India? And Rahul Gandhi, without thinking, says, as you know, you can see for yourself that the state of the media is really bad in India, etc., etc. Now, what Rahul Gandhi should have said is that our intelligence agencies have picked him up for spying, and that's that. Yeah, let the facts come out. Let the investigation be complete. He could have simply said that, mind your own business. Or in the least, he could have said, I'm sorry, I don't know about this case. Can we move to the next question, please? But no, this was a perfect chance to discredit India publicly, discredit Prime Minister Modi publicly. It was too juicy a full toss for Rahul Gandhi to not attempt hitting it over the ropes for a six. This was just too juicy. And he couldn't resist himself, and he said, no, look at the state of press freedom in India. What has spying got to do with press freedom? And I've maintained for a long time, and not very many people like my statement, but there is no difference, ladies and gentlemen, between a spy and an investigative journalist. There is no difference. It is just that the investigative journalist works for a media house and a spy works for a government. That's about it. Both try to find out secrets that are not in the public domain. Essentially, that is their work, to find out, gather information. That is what spies do. So, if Vivek Raghavan is spying for a foreign power and the CBI has booked him for stealing secrets from DRDO and other organizations, and he's been booked under the Official Secrets Act, so let the law take its own course. Why should Rahul Gandhi defend a spy or a person who's been accused of spying in a foreign land? Why should he do that? What makes you hate Narendra Modi so much that you are happy to damage your own country? And Congress spokespersons yesterday were trying to defend Rahul. It must be so difficult to defend Rahul Gandhi. It must be so difficult to defend him because he keeps on saying something or the other every second day. And then these guys on television, they're scrambling and saying that no. And this guy actually on television yesterday was saying that, the state of media in India is so bad. And do you think Rahul Gandhi was absolutely wrong when he said that? No, he was not wrong. And the state of the media in India is very bad and the media is pressured. How's the media pressured? Every single day, people are pressurizing the government. Every single day, the media is asking questions from the government. And they should. And I keep on telling people from the media, I sit with them, I chat with them. Asking questions, difficult questions from the government is not your right. It's your duty. Do it as a matter of duty. Ask difficult questions. Nobody has stopped you. Nobody can stop you. Because this right is not given by Mr. Modi or Major Gaurav Arya. This right is given by the Constitution of India. And do it as your duty, not as a right. Ask. Get up in the morning, ask questions. That is your right. But when somebody says that the freedom of media in India is under threat, for heaven's sake, stand up for your country. And please stop quoting these foreign research papers or these rankings which actually say that the Taliban is more democratic than India and the Taliban gives more freedom to its media than India. Stop defending this nonsense. Stop defending it just because you hate Modi. You can hate Modi, but be logical about it. Do you actually think that the media in Pakistan is more free than the media in India? Every single day. No day goes by when there is no debate on issues relating to India and Pakistan in some channel or the other, right? And you have Pakistani guests and they criticize India and they're allowed to speak. We offer that level of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, that anybody can say whatever he feels like, as long as he's not being abusive. Yes, sure, anchors cut off certain people in between. That is because people deviate from the topic and then go into their own tangent. That cannot be allowed in a debate because everything is time-bound, Everybody needs to get some time or the other. And many a time there are too many guests. So you can't have one guy hijacking the entire discussion. But otherwise the Pakistanis are allowed to speak. Just imagine, if you can allow Pakistanis to speak, What is stopping Indians from speaking? But yet, some people will take advantage of this and politically try to sell this sweet dish that, hey, democracy in India is under threat, Taliban are more democratic than India. The Taliban, they are paragons of virtue. The Taliban are the most secular people in the world. And they support women's education. The Taliban really want women to be educated. It is Modi, who's at fault. Modi doesn't want women to be educated. It is the Taliban who want. If that is your mindset, then God help you here. Then God help you. I just wanted to, ladies and gentlemen, cover only 2 news items because I think these were the most important ones. And of course, I'm sure you've heard about how General Qamar Javed Bajwa was insulted by an Afghan when he was gallivanting in France with his family. He was having fun. I've never figured out why and how Pakistani generals have so much money that they can holiday in France with their family. I don't know. Indian army generals, even 4-star generals, don't have that kind of money. Pakistan is a rich nation. It can afford billionaire generals. So with that, I come to the end of this video. I would really request you to send in your questions. I got a lot of questions in Hindi today, but I did not get any questions in English. I would request you to please send in your questions. I would like to engage more with you. Try and answer your questions if I can. If I can't, I'll say sorry. If I can, I will certainly answer your questions. I'm going to take up 4 questions every day. So I would request you from tomorrow, please send in your questions. We've already started for Hindi. We'd like to start for the Chanakya Dialogues English as well. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.